This beautiful valley is South Lincoln. It borders on the Penobscot River, town of Enfield, and the Enfield Road. In the early days, it was not as populated and developed as other parts of Lincoln, as most travelers bypassed this area, went upstream, and settled in Lincoln and Wynne. The construction of the Enfield Road started in 1830. It was built in stages and eventually continued to the Enfield line. Farms were started and fields were cleared along the road. Ronald Boone, who was a graduate of Monadnock Academy, and his wife Lillian owned and operated a dairy farm and then an apple orchard for a period of time that spanned 8 decades. From 1911 to 1960, Lincoln received its water from Little Round Pond. It was gravity fed to Taylor Street, then pumped into the town from there. In 1961, Lincoln built the first of 4 pump stations over an aquifer that runs along a horseback near the Dodden Road and then north crossing the Pollard Brook area into Chester. There was a post office in South Lincoln from 1836 to 1924, and there was a train station at the end of the station road in the late 1800s. The old community building at South Lincoln was originally a schoolhouse, built about 1870. In 1924, when a new schoolhouse was built, the building was purchased by the John McGregor Corporation and remodeled as a community building. The spool mill in South Lincoln was an important and profitable industry in the community. In 1871, James Emerson built a small sawmill on the site of the future spool mill and engaged in sawing lumber for various purposes, especially white birch for spool bars. John McGregor, who came from Scotland in 1869, built the first spool mill, which included that sawmill. In 1898, the business was incorporated as the John McGregor Company. In 1918, the company was sold to the Clark Thread Company of Newark, New Jersey. It appears that work on the original road that followed the river from Lincoln Village to Enfield began in 1827 and was completed about 6 years later. We should, however, bear in mind the inaccessibility and the many difficulties that plagued the road builders on the Penobscot at this time. During the early years, the town was growing and lumbering was increasing so enormously that the struggle to keep these roads in repair was constant and difficult. The Penobscot River must be considered an important factor in the settlement and development of Lincoln. It served the Native Americans, it served the hunter, it served the explorer. The earliest settlers traveled upon its waters, along its shores, and on its ice. Steamboats have plied upon it, logs and rafts have floated down it for many years. The river and its tributaries have supplied unlimited quantities of fish and game along its banks. Their water power has driven the wheels of many mills. In 1847, during a period of high water, the steamship Governor Neptune made its first trip up this part of the Penobscot. A total of 7 steamships ran here until about 1867.